everyone's doing well. We're going to get started here. Just ignore my lips. I realized after I recorded this flow that my microphone was not on, but that's okay. We're still going to get it going. So just focus on my instruction, pay attention to my movements, and just get into this flow. We're going to take a moment to discuss the basics of Sun Salutation Classical and Sun Salutation A. So we're going to get started as we normally do with a nice meditation in finding your comfortable seat at the center of the mat, taking a moment to release everything that you did before you came and anything that you may have to do after. Allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears, letting your palms rest heavy on the knees, or maybe along your sides, whatever feels good. Allow the breath to settle, not manipulating it, just allowing it to flow. Inhaling as you fill the belly. We're going to extend the exhale. We're going to inhale on a 4 count, inhaling 2, 3, and 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale 2, 3, 4. Exhale 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you allow this breath to normalize, I invite you to consider the theme of the month. As you take these breaths, remembering that we are exploring a parigraha, taking into account that circle of life, understanding that everything along this circle that we have may not be physical things, may not be people, it may also be our beliefs. So as we travel around this circle, think of things that we can let go, beliefs that no longer serve us, so that as we travel around the circle, we have something remaining to give back to ourselves. So allow our breath to focus in on that third eye area, creating an intention, what brought us to the mat today, maybe a dedication, sending love to someone outside of the room. And just allow that light to focus in that third eye area. Maybe allow that light to spill down the forehead, releasing and relaxing. Allow the light to travel down the cheeks, releasing in the cheeks. Allow the light to travel to the neck, releasing the jaw, releasing the shoulders away from the ears, spilling down the arms through the biceps, through the triceps, taking it all the way into the fingertips. And on the inhale, sending back up the arms, allowing it to rest in the heart space. Allowing that breath now to travel through the heart space, through the fire in our bellies, and all the way to the root. Maybe exploring our connection with the earth, the connection to the mat, allowing that breath to travel into the hip flexors, releasing, softening, into the thighs, through the knees, into the shins, and all the way to the toes. When you're ready, start to wiggle the toes, wiggle the fingers. Bring yourself back into this space gently, bringing the palms into heart center when you're ready, bowing our heads as we prepare for the practice, blinking our eyes open to greet each other in the space. All right, so getting started, maybe grabbing your oils and just giving you a bit of an explanation as to what we're doing. We're going to bring the blocks in today to give you a chance to bring the earth closer to your movements. So if you have blocks or books, go ahead and grab those. We're going to take you through step by step the process of sun salutation classical, which stays close to the ground. And then we're going to take you through the basics of sun sal A, which brings you up from the ground. We've done all of these before, but if you've ever found yourself going through the flow and maybe feeling as if you're going through just the movements, this flow is for you so that you can really connect to the movement. And we're going to start warming up as we normally do, finding the center of the mat, taking those shoulder rolls, 3 in each direction, spending a little extra time in each circle, giving your body the benefit of each portion of the circle as we reverse, rolling into this, going in for 3, allowing the palms to TP along the sides as we drop our chin to chest, rolling that right ear to right shoulder, exhaling that left palm nice and flat to the earth as we roll the chin back into the chest. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Good. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, ear to shoulder. Excellent. Bring that head through the center. TP those fingertips while we flatten now the opposite hand. Chin to chest. Left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Exhale, chin to chest for 3. And left ear, left shoulder. Good. Releasing those fingertips back to TP along our sides. As we inhale, chin up to the sky. Exhale, bringing that chin to chest, maybe arching that spine forward. Inhale, chin to the sky. Exhale, arching that spine, feeling an opening along the shoulder blades as we arch. Taking it up to the sky for 3. And then finding stillness here as we raise those palms to airplane out to the sides. Thumbs up, shoulders back. Deep inhale as we take that right hand across the chest. Hook the left wrist across the right wrist, gazing away from the hands. Nice cross-body stretch, still working in those shoulders. 3 breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Opening those palms up again to either side. Opposite hand across the chest. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Good. Last inhale, exhale. Take those palms back out. Thumbs are up, shoulders are back. Bringing it up, thumbs touch. Bringing the palms together, engaging those palms as we press. Bringing it all the way down into the chest, fingertips away, arms elongate, open up, chin up, beautiful. Bring those thumbs back up to touch, palms touch, squeezing those palms together all the way into the heart center. Fingertips go away, arms go long, thumbs are up, open it up. Good. Inhale, we're bringing those palms back together. Bringing them into heart center, sending fingertips up to the sky, pressing those palms, thumbs come together, airplane it out. Beautiful. Bring it up, open the chest, palms together, into the heart, fingertips to the sky, pressing and engaging as we raise all the way up. Thumbs touch. Good. Airplane those arms out to the side. Nice strong shoulders, bring it back together. Palms into chest, pressing those palms, fingertips up to the sky. Inhale as we send it up. Thumbs touch. Exhale, airplane those arms out. Beautiful. Now we're going to wring the towel out. Opposite hands up, opposite hands down. Engaging the backs of those arms, making sure we're not releasing, and bringing them down to the sides. Good. Let's stretch those legs out long here. We're going to look to bring these blocks in. Let's have these blocks lining the hips. We're going to work on hip flexor strength using these blocks, and we're going to work on learning how to engage the shoulders. Also, we're going to work on learning how to use tools, understanding that these tools are not a sign of weakness or a way of getting an easier workout. It's a way of working the pose into you. Remember, not you getting into the pose, letting the pose get into you. So let's bring that block along the side, and we're going to feel the weight of traction. So twisting gently to the left, block is halfway between the earth and the mat. 3 breaths here. Breathing, nice strong spine, feet are flexed. Taking it through to the other side, placing that block halfway on the earth, halfway on the mat. Twisting at the torso, breathing in. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhaling, exhale. Bring it back to center. Now let's squeeze those blocks a little closer to the hips. We're looking for engagement in the shoulders. We don't want, as we raise, the neck to collapse into the shoulders. We want a nice long spine, strong back. So we're going to show here an example of what we don't want it to look like. Pressing up there, as you see, shoulders are collapsing. We want a strong press. Good. Now lower down. Now inhale as we engage in those shoulders, pressing up. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, using the scapular muscles, press and raise, lower down, keeping that torso high, not leaning forward. Now we're going to add the foot into this. So bringing that foot to bend, that left knee is going to bend, or right, whichever side you want to start on. Bring that foot on the outside of the knee. Holding onto the knee, inhale with a gentle twist. Now you can take that block or just the hand and take it to the back of the mat. I'm going to use the block here to again engage that traction. Taking that twist, that block is going to help that body stay up nice and straight. Good. Breathing here. One more breath, nice and strong, holding on to that knee. Excellent. Exhale. Inhale. As we release that block, you should feel that stretch in the outer side of that hip. Holding on with the opposite hand, going into twist towards that left side. Holding on to that block for traction, 3 breaths here. Holding on to that knee is great if you need help to keep that knee driving to the sky. 2 more breaths here. In and out. In and out. Good. Release that leg long. Before we go into the other side, we're going to take ankle rolls, focusing in on just movement in the ankles. We're going to take them only to one side, 3 in each direction, using those blocks for traction, nice strong back, using only the quads, only the ankles. 3 twists in those ankles before we go into the other side. All right, good. Now let's bend in that left knee. Bring the left foot to the outside of the knee. Nice strong spine here. Inhaling deeply. Taking 2 to 3 breaths in this twist. Using the block for traction at the back of the mat again. Inhaling deeply. Holding that knee straight to the sky. Exhaling completely. Good. Bringing it back around. Opening up to the other side. Knee is driving to the sky. Breathing in. Breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. Excellent. Bring it back. We'll take those ankle circles after we bring the blocks to frame the hips, focusing again on movement only in the ankles. Flexing those toes towards us, taking them around in a full circle. 3 full circles. Good. Getting that flexion in that quad and loosening up those ankles. Great. All right, now we're going to take some of those hip presses, focusing on scapular engagement. Strong spine, zipping that belly button into the spine. Going back in for those scapular presses. Pressing up. Right foot comes up as it flexes. Lower down. Inhale, left foot comes up. Flex the foot. Lower down. Good. Lower everything to the mat. Releasing in those shoulders. Maybe take a few rolls. And right foot up and lower. Left foot up and lower. Lower everything to the mat. We've got one more of these. Pressing up. Right leg up. Left leg up. Lower down to the mat. Beautiful. All right, let's send those blocks away, swinging the knees around, finding tabletop. Bring your blocks to the head of the mat so that they can be available to you once we flow through that classical sun. Palms are under the shoulders, knees are hip-width distance apart, toes are not touching. Starting with full body circles, not dropping the pelvis towards the wrists this time, focusing on opening in the shoulder and the hip joints. Going in for 2. Excellent. Going in for 3. Beautiful. All right, now working into this, finding stillness, moving into the other side. Excellent. Going in for 2, connecting that breath to this movement. And in for 3. Good. Those shoulders should be very loose and this hip should be warming up. Finding stillness here, we're going to go into threading the needle. Taking just a quick child's pose, remembering that this child's pose is available to you whenever you need it. Take it when you want it, not when you need it. Inhaling as we raise, bringing it back into tabletop, getting ready to thread the needle. Inhale, opening on the right. Exhale, shoulder and cheek to the mat. Releasing in the shoulders, maybe walking those fingertips away or taking the bind. Allowing your breath to settle here. No tension in the shoulders. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling completely. Breathing in deeply as we bring the palm back to the mat. Inhale, right hand floats back up to the sky. Exhale, both palms on the mat. Inhale, opening on the left. Exhale, shoulder and cheek to the mat. Inhale, walking those fingertips away or taking that bind. Each side may feel different. Breathing in and breathing out. Breathing in and breathing out. One more good breath here. And exhale, palm back to the mat. Floating open, both palms to the mat. Beautiful. Now we're going to go in and work the hips for some hip circles, looking for that knee parallel to the earth, bringing it back and towards the elbow. Zip in those abs as you bring it back, knee to elbow. Good. Going in for 3, knee back, knee to elbow. Good. Take it out to the side. One more for good measure. Back to the earth. Going in on the left side after a quick child's pose here. Focusing on those hip flexors and the abs, wrapping all the way around to the back of the body. Good. Take that knee back. Bring it up to the elbow. Good. Knee out to the side, towards the elbow. Excellent. Full circles all the way around, limiting that movement in the torso. Last one. Excellent. Bring it down. Take that child's pose here. Maybe a gentle rock from side to side, keeping those palms glued to the mat. Excellent. Breathing here. Now placing those blocks back at the head of the mat. We're going to start with our classical sun sal. Those blocks are going to help us in our forward fold or uttanasana so that we are hinging at the hips in the proper form. We're not going to bring too much in between as we normally do because we're focusing on the basics here. So in your down dog, checking your form to make sure that you are open enough, seeing if you can roll directly from dog into plank. If you can roll directly from dog into plank, you have enough space between the hands and the feet. Good. Rolling back up. Excellent. Now if you feel more comfortable with the bend in the knee, bringing the belly to the tops of the thighs and down dog, feel free to do so. We're just going to add a little bit of spice here after we open up those calves, pressing opposite heels and bending opposite knees. We're going to bend in those knees and gaze it forward. We're going to hover. Now we're hovering as if we're going to jump forward. Knees are not touching the mat. And then we're going to tap the right and we're going to tap the left with as minimal movement as we can and bring it right back to down dog. Pressing those heels into the mat. Long back, strong shoulders as we exhale here. Taking a deep inhale to bend the knees and hover. Right tap, back to center. Left tap, back to center. Engage those abs as we go back into dog. Feeling those abs wrap all the way around the back of your body. Few presses in those heels as you bend and hover. Good. We're going to tap the right. We're going to tap the left. And back to down dog. Perfect. Now from here, we're going to bend just like we did before, but we're going to walk those feet to meet the hands, meeting in a forward fold. Here we're going to discuss the role of the blocks in the forward fold. We're looking for those hands to rest comfortably, or fingertips, either on the mat or the blocks. We want to hinge at the hips. We don't want a curved spine. As you stand strong, touch those hips and feel that long upper body. Not a crunch, but a long dive forward, flat back all the way until you get to the earth or the block. Now the blocks have several levels that you can use them at. Flat on the sides, tall on the sides, or up on the short side, bringing the earth closer to you. Not cheating, using the tools that are available to you to increase your stretch and to grow yourself in these poses. So from Uttanasana, forward fold, we're breathing here. We're finding that perfect spot for the blocks to make that stretch beneficial. Tools are to help. Tools are to get the pose into you, not you get into the pose. As you inhale it all the way up, chin up, fingers up, Urdhva Hastasana, upward worship, diving down, Uttanasana, inhaling palms to shins, Ardha Uttanasana, exhaling, bending those knees as that right leg steps back for the lunge, drop the knee, flip the foot, raising those hands, low lunge, breathing here, exhale, framing that foot, sending that knee back, modified plank, exhale as you lower all the way down into your Cobra or Bhujangasana. Good, pushing up, pushing that mat away. Exhale, pushing back into down dog. Beautiful. Walking it out, bringing those feet towards the hands, but only after we do those taps again. Good. That's one. Back to down dog. Exhale, bend and hover, moving a little quicker. Left knee taps, right knee taps, back to down dog. Good. Bend and hover. Left knee taps, right knee taps, back to dog. Good. Breathing through this, bending the knees, walking the feet to meet the hands. Nice and easy, using the blocks. Nice hinge at the hips. Feeling that hinge in the hips. Moving right into Ardha Uttanasana. Palms to shins, tuck the chin. Exhale. Left leg's going back. Drop the knee. Flip the foot. Inhale, rise, Anjaneyasana or low lunge. Exhale, frame the foot. Send it back to modified plank. Exhale, lowering down to Cobra. Push the mat away and bring it back to your child's pose. Excellent. Now we're going to go through this again a little faster. Now that you know those basic movements of the classical sun sound. You've learned some of the Sanskrit. You know the poses matching up with the words, English and Sanskrit. If you don't know it by heart, give yourself some grace. Go back into this video, rewind, pause, write them down, maybe look them up. Not necessarily so that you know them word for word, but it's awfully nice to be in a class and to know exactly what's going on. It doesn't hurt. So next time we're going to go in, we're going to work through that classical again, a little faster. None of the spice that we normally have in between, focusing on the movements, focusing on keeping the spine strong, focusing on keeping that belly button zipped into the spine, focusing on the hinge and the hips. We've worked on opening up those hips throughout this flow so that we can really work our way into using those blocks, using our tools, and understanding that the tools are there to help you. Making our way back down to child's pose, snaking forward, pushing the mat away into Cobra, going through this a little quicker this time. Curl the toes, pike the hips, right into down dog, breathing in this dog. Stretch it out for a beat, floating that leg up, going right into Sun A. Bend the knee, make space with the hips, send those hips up and sweep that foot up in between the hands for runner's lunge. Pushing straight into that front foot, raising the torso into high crescent lunge. Engage that belly button, push into that foot, raise it all the way up. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Exhale as we bend into that knee. Very simple. Framing the foot. Send that foot right back to plank. going through our vinyasa. And what that means is we're going to lower slightly to a low plank. We're going to shift forward, flipping onto the tops of our feet, looking for up dog or cobra, whatever feels good, taking it back into down dog. By curling the toes, piking the hips. Good. Walk it out for a beat. Now that opposite leg is going to float up. Bend the knees, send those hips up to make space, and sweep that foot forward. And this may take time to get used to, pushing up into high crescent, but just keep working at it. Frame the foot, send it back. Vinyasa, lower, shift it forward, flip the feet, up dog or cobra. Excellent. Down dog. Child's pose. Take a breath, take a beat. All right, running through this sequence again. Meeting in child's pose. Down dog. Going through a little faster, walking the feet up to meet the hands to Uttanasana. Inhaling all the way up, Urdhva Exhale, dive it down. Inhale, palms to shins, halfway lift. Exhale, right leg goes back. Drop the knee, flip the foot, Anjaneyasana. Beautiful, frame the foot. Send that knee back, modified plank, lower down. Push the mat away to cobra. And bring it back to down dog. Beautiful. Walking the feet up to meet the hands. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Left leg goes back, knee goes down, foot flips, Anjaneyasana. Exhale to frame the foot. Send the knee back to modified plank and to cobra. Back to tabletop, into child's pose. Breathe it out, snake it forward. Wonderful. Back to down dog. Leg floats up. Sweep that foot forward, runner's lunge. Raise it up high for high crescent lunge. Frame the foot. Send that foot back, going through vinyasa, lower shift. Flip the feet, up dog or cobra to down dog. Left leg floats. Left foot comes forward, runner's lunge. Press it up, high crescent lunge. Frame the foot, take it back to plank. Going through vinyasa, lower, shift, up dog or cobra, down dog. Perfect. Child's pose. Movements that you've done many times in my classes, all containing a little bit of extra. But this whole video is just to take you through these basics so that you know exactly what you're doing. All of my flows are based off of a simple classical or Sun A or Sun B with a little bit mixed in to mix it up. So this just helps for you to be in a class and not be lost or just going through the motions. So as we close this practice, find yourself on your backs, in your Shavasana, releasing everything that you've done thus far. Maybe checking into how you feel as you end this practice. Allowing the breath to settle, allowing the mind to release any expectations or judgments of your performance, and allow me to give you 1 full minute of silence as you reflect on your practice. Slowly bringing gentle movement into the fingers, wiggling the toes. I'd like to leave you with a quote to start your week. I hope you remember that the words "I can't" can block your energy. The words "I am" can help create your identity. The words "I attract" can call all that is meant for you into existence. And the words "I release" can clear your path of all that does not serve you. As you move into this week, remember to speak with intention. As you slowly bring in one knee at a time into the chest, giving yourself a big squeeze hug here, allowing the knees to fall to either the left or the right, taking a moment to consider your breath, how you're feeling. Maybe you say something kind to yourself. I love you. I thank you. I am grateful. Pushing yourself into the seated position with the eyes closed if it feels comfortable. Bringing the palms into heart center upon arrival. Bowing our heads to seal in this practice. The light in me shines because of the light in you. Namaste.